Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow workshop. I am your host Nelson. Thank you for joining me on episode 121. What we're going to be doing today is creating a scroll transition effect. So I saw this on Twitter and then on Dribble. Let me show my screen. This right here by Nathan Riley, a cabin fever header transition. And as you look at it, it's very intriguing. It really captures really captures your eye when you're just like, if you were to scroll down and this parallax effect happens and it's very smooth. So it's really cool and interesting. And I thought, okay, this would be good for a Webflow workshop because it's super simple. And what we're going to do today on the stream is I'm going to break this down and tell you how easy it is. And then second, we're going to build it. And third, I'll be answering probably like 1 to 3 or 5 questions at the end. So if you have questions right now and you're in the Crowdcast live chat room, go ahead and click on Ask a Question link at the bottom of the screen and post your question there, and I'll get to it towards the end of the screen if we have time. All right, so if this is your first stream, if this is your first time at these streams, please, welcome. These streams happen every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And we invite you to come back every week and join the community. Speaking of community, please go to forum.webflow.com and, introduce yourself there. There's an introductions category and just meet a bunch of the Webflow community members there. There's a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people in the live chat room right now. So thank you for joining me. All right. With that being said, let's break it down. All right. So again, Nathan Riley, great job. And I think this was created by probably like After Effects or something like that, some motion graphics type of thing. Because I don't see a link to the actual build. So what I'm going to do is actually build it. And yeah, so we're going to ignore the top nav bar because we just want to do interactions, okay? And so as you can see, there's a couple things happening. As we keep going up and down, it's happening on one. It feels like it's happening on one scroll down or a click of the scroll button down here. Watch this right here. Scroll to this cover. So I'm thinking you scroll or click on that, and then it makes that the interactions happen. And so you have 1, 2, 3. So those 3 background images are actually sliced, and so it has that parallax effect, as if you're like moving the camera down like this, right? And so that's what we're going to do. And also there's a H1 right here that says cabin fever and then some sort of logo here. So that logo kind of twists, and the H1 goes down as well. Does it zoom out? Yeah, it kind of zooms out. We can do that. So yeah, this should be easy to do inside of Webflow interactions and animations. And if you haven't tried Webflow interactions yet, please go to university.webflow.com and search for interactions. There's a ton of videos that the education team has put out to help you learn the basics. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so first thing I want to do is open up Webflow. Okay, and so I'm starting from a blank page right here. Okay, and I've already uploaded 4 images, and it's the 3 slices of the background image and then a home icon. And I forgot the name of the Twitter user, so I'll put that in the description for this YouTube video on the recording. Someone else already sliced the images up for me, so thank you for doing that. Okay, so I'm going to switch back and forth between this so I can see what I'm supposed to do. So we have multiple layers happening, and the first thing we want to do is put an overall wrapper to make sure that let's put an overall wrapper to hold all of the images. Okay, so I'm going to drag in a div block, and this one I'm just going to call it hero wrapper. Okay, and for the height I'm going to put 100 VH. VH means 100% of the viewport height. All right, and I'm going to set this to position relative. Okay, so if I put anything inside of here and put it position absolute, it's going to anchor and target towards this hero wrapper. All right, so let's start with the very back first. So I'm going to go here, dragging another div block, and we're going to call it back mountains. Wait, let me see here. Yeah, we have 2 mountains. So I'm going to say far back or something. So let's see here. Far back. Okay. And the height will be 100%. So that's 100% of its parent. Oh, no, actually 100 VH. And then set this to absolute. There we go. And let's set this to full. And we're going to place our first background image right here. Is it that one? Nope, it's that one right here. All right, set this to cover. Center that. No tiling. And we're done with the first layer. Rinse and repeat. Let's drag in another div block as a sibling. Okay. And then we're going to call this mid-back. Position absolute. Make it full. Since I have full, I don't have to do the height 100 VH. So let me just remove that on the far back. Less code is better, right? You want to keep everything clean. So back on the mid-back. Position absolute. Full. In the background image, let's get this one right here. Set it to cover. There we go. All right. And because we want this on top, we can do it like this. There we go. And now we got we'll call this the foreground, or we'll call it cabin. And this cabin right here, again, full. And choose my image, and we have the cabin. And there we go. Cool, right? So we've placed all 3 things, okay? But in between the cabin and this mid-back right here, we have the logo and the H1, which says cabin life. So let's put that in here. Same thing, but in between, and call this hero content. Position full. Okay, and now since we don't need a background image for this, what we need is content, and the content has to be in the very center. So how to center stuff is our good friend Flexbox. And so we do Flexbox, center on both the horizontal and the vertical. Okay, and yeah, now that we do have that, we can go ahead. Oh, and one more thing. Sorry about that. Go to hero content, and let's make sure that it's set to vertical, because when we put elements inside of this, we want to make sure that the logo's at the top and then the H1's at the bottom. So we're not putting them side by side, we're putting them vertically aligned, okay? So let me show you. Inside of there, let's go ahead and put a div block. See how it's right there? So let's call this logo. Oh, that's not how you spell logo. There you go. Logo right there. And let's give this even 150, 150. Nah, that's too big. 75, 75. Okay. 100. Yeah. So 100 by 100. So I'm making a circle right now. To make a circle, you have to have the width and height even the same number. And set the border radius to 50%. And we're going to give this a background color of orange. Something like that. Let's save this swatch just in case. Peru. Huh. Okay, and notice how it's hiding behind that. So this is where z-index comes in, okay? So I want to make sure that I have my z-index set correctly. So I'm going to go to cabin. And I'm going to set this z-index as 10. So these are layers that are coming at you, okay? So this is the topmost layer, 10. And then hero content, I'm going to make that 9. And you can make these numbers whatever you want. But as long as they're in order, so, you know, you can... Because they're in the same... Yeah, they're in that one order that you want. Okay? You can start from 1, you can start from 10, whatever you want. Okay? Alright, so I notice that the logo is hiding. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Actually, let's add the H1. So I'm going to add the H1. I can't see it. So what can I do? Can I do this? No, I cannot. All right. So maybe I should align it to the top and then push it down. Okay. So the hero content, I don't need it full center on the vertical. I just need it on the horizontal, so we can do something like this. Okay, and now let's go to the heading. Heading. Okay, since I can't click on the heading, let's temporarily make this z-index 50, so it's on the very top. So when I click on it and double click, so change the text, it works. So cabin life, and let's go ahead and fix the fix the font. It's probably like that. Yeah, something like that. So it's serif, but it's like light. Probably that. Make it white. Let's make it big. Is that too big? Yeah, we'll go 75. Okay. And that's that. It looks bigger though. Yeah, it's huge. Okay, so I don't think it's that. I'm just using something basic. Droid serif. Nope. Just give me something good. Okay, gonna use that. And we're gonna make this big. Go for it. Okay. That's cool. And I like to remove the defaults on the padding or in the margins. And so let's get it like that. That looks good. All right. And inside of this logo, we also need our image. So let's go ahead and put in our home icon. And this home icon is too far close to that. So let's fix this. Okay, so I'm on the logo, not the image, but the logo div. And let's give it some padding on all sides. Cool. And let's see here. Let's go like this. Let's go 13. But on this image house icon, I'm going to push it down even more on the padding, because watch this. You see how this has a line, has a circle inside? This is how you do it. You just take your image and give it a border and make sure that the border radius is 50%. Okay. There you go. And let's go ahead and fix this real quick. Like that. Cool. Something like that. Alright, cool. Cabin life. Alright. Now for this hero content, we need to put this behind the cabin, and we just put that back on the z-index. There you go, cabin life. Let's see if we can bring it up a bit. There you go. Even 100, right there. Philip's in the live chat room. Thank you so much for slicing these, Philip. You're awesome. You're awesome. And not sure if this is how you did your build, but yeah, I really enjoyed looking at how you built yours. So you built, Philip built his using continuous scroll with a page trigger. What I'm going to do is a little bit different with a element trigger. All right. So now this is done. Let's go ahead and put the bottom section. So I'm going to drag in a section right here. Okay, so we have the next section down here. So this is what's going to happen. When I get into this section, when this section is viewable, that's when things get crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and call this section 2. Okay, let's make the height something like 800. Give it a background color of, I don't know, like brownish. Something like that. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Save. That's not really black. Whatever. All right. So save it like that. And I want, because I don't want a hard line, notice how it has a gradient. So I'm going to make a gradient. Let's see if I can make a gradient on top of the cabin. Okay. So I have this cabin, and I'm going to put a div block inside the cabin, and I'm going to call this overlay. Okay, and this overlay is gonna go position bottom like that. Give it a height of like, say, 150, and let's just play around with the gradient. And so the black is going to be transparent, but with that color transparent, And then this one right here is going to be our black color, and that's 100%. And there we go. So when we scroll down, it's more smooth. Okay, there's not a hard line. I removed that hard cut. Okay, and so there we go. So what's gonna happen is when I get to about, say, right here, this is probably like 5% or 10%. When I see 10% of this section 2, that's when I want transitions to happen. That's when I want all the animations to happen. Okay, so let's go and make our animations. So in the interactions tab, element trigger, scroll into view is what we want. So scroll into view with section 2 selected. When scrolled into view, start animation. And the offset, this is what I'm talking about. If the top of the line is 0%, I want this to happen right about here. So I'm going to take a guess and say it's 10%. Okay, so 10% of the element is when I want to start the animation. I don't want to start the animation right away, like right here. I want to start the animation right about here. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Let's go. So I'm going to click new timed animation. I'm just going to call this transition. And the time animation, since I'm on animation mode, as you can tell right down here, I can start playing around with things. So I'm going to select on the navigator my logo. I want to do something simple. I want to make this spin. Okay, so with the logo selected, I'm going to press right here. Let's go rotate, and its initial state on the Z axis is 0. Okay, that's what it's going to look like when the page first loads. And then once I do my interaction, it's going to spin 90 degrees. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Whoop, right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and preview that and see if our interaction is working. Okay, see right there, exactly what I wanted. All right, so now you're just off to the races. Just now that first interaction is done, you can do anything. You can make parallax, you can make things spin in scale, whatever. It gets fun. Right, so next thing is, let's do some parallax stuff. Okay, so if you watch this again, we have the back mountain moves slower than the mid, and then the cabin moves the fastest. Okay, that's what parallax is. Again, it's just like you're looking out a car window, and the furthest back mountains or something is going so slow while the things in front of you are going really fast. That's all it is. So it's just different timings. All right, so let's get our first one right here, the far back, and let's give it a move and put that as initial state, and the move is on the y-axis 0. And then we're going to add another move, and this is going to move just slightly up. Nope, that's down. So slightly up. Probably let's make this even to make it simple. We'll say 25. So this one, actually no, 20. So this one's going to move 20 pixels up. This one's going to move 40 pixels. 40, 60. Yeah, this one goes 60 pixels up, and then the cabin is just going to go 120 or something like that. Okay, so that's done. Let's watch it. Okay, doesn't look like anything right now. So let's keep going. So this mid back right here, rinse and repeat. Let's move it on the y-axis 0, and right here, let's move it on the y-axis 60. Okay, now it's coming to life. Keep going. The hero content, let's go ahead and does that move down? No, it doesn't. It just doesn't do anything. So it's the cabin right here that moves. Okay, so I'm going to take this cabin, set the move to 0, and this one move to nope, negative 120. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so notice how everything feels very like, okay, it's kind of cool, but it's missing something, right? And so what it's missing is that easing, okay? So it goes slow, fast, slow. Slow, fast, slow. And so how to find those is a great community member named C. Travers created this Webflow CSS easing visualized. Okay, you can go to easing.webflow.io, and it's pretty cool. You can see which easing you should use. And as I was going through this, I was like, okay, which one is going to do the thing I want? And so right here, I found it. In, out, quint. So slow, fast, slow. Right there. So with that knowledge, I can click on this, hold shift, select all of these, and change the easing to in, out, quint. Right? Was it quint? Yeah, quint. Ease out, quint. And we'll make the duration 1 second. And let's just see what happens. Okay. And I think the cabin goes way up higher. Oh, and it zooms in. Okay, cool. Okay, so right here with the cabin, we can also do a zoom in, which is scale. And this scale starts at 1. And let's add another scale. And this goes to like 1 point. Let's go 1.2 and see what happens. Oops. Out quint 1. There we go. There we go. Now it's coming to life. And I think it zooms in even more. Huh. Let's look at it. Oh yeah, it takes up the whole thing, and wow, okay. Don't be afraid to go big. Let's go 1.5, see what happens. Okay. Now let's see it by previewing. If I scroll down. Okay. Cool. All right. And so I want to copy this background color because you can see the white here when you scroll down. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. This hero wrapper, gonna put a background image or a background color of black, or that black. And then let's go ahead and preview it. Cool. And I think the move could moving up for the cabin could go higher. Let's see here. Let's just go for it. Something like that. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, something like that. And now what I can do is just when I scroll back up, I want things to go back the way it was, right? And so how to do that is click outside of this, and when scrolled out of view, I can just start the animation, duplicate that same interaction, and I'm going to call this transition out. And I can just delete all of these. And all of these right here can be removed as initial state. Set the easing back to what I want. Set the same duration. Boom, done. Look at that. All right. Oh yeah, forgot the offset. Let's fix that offset real quick. Right here, the offset. Okay, so if down here is 0%, so the offset should be 90. It should be like 95%. Let's try that. Okay. Let's try that. And come back to me. There we go. There we go. Cool. All right. And so you can play around with the values here, like play around with the transitions. Maybe these moves need to be bigger, probably like 100. Like these need to move even further. Maybe I'm being too subtle with it. But yeah, there you go. All right. And so with all of these projects that we build during the workshops, I always post a link on the Webflow forums and on the YouTube description on where you can clone this into your own Webflow account for free. And then you can reverse engineer what I've done, or you can build on top of it. You can use it for a future project, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you're learning something new every day. Okay? Let's see here. Hold on real quick. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure that the YouTube stream is happening too. All right. Let's get into some questions. And actually, let me publish this real quick. So if you want to see this right now, go to scroll-transition-workshop.webflow.io and you can just play around with it on your own. But again, I'll let you clone this for free and you can have fun. All right, from the Crowdcast chat room, I'm going to answer some questions real quick. So for Marius, hi Nelson, do we have any updates on pagination and also on e-commerce? Thanks. Yeah, we are still working on it. There is going to be, wait, let me look at my calendar real quick. Okay, we're the 29th. So we should, let me check my workshop calendar. Soon we're going to have a live Q&A or quarterly live Q&A with our CEO Vlad, and those are really big because you can you can ask your questions live to our CEO and he'll answer them. All right, so June 19th, Tuesday, June 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, come to this Crowdcast channel, come to this YouTube channel and ask your questions, and he and I will be there to answer them, okay? So I don't have any updates on pagination or e-commerce, but again, they are coming, they're being worked on, and as with everything, we care more about the quality of our features than the quantity, okay? So it's happening. It just hang on just a little longer. From Jason, would you suggest keeping this effect on mobile versions of the site, or would you simplify it? And Peter answered, I personally will make it simpler. On mobile devices will not be so cool because the screen size is not so big. I agree to make it simpler, but you can also keep this in mobile. I think because it's only, 5 layers or something, 5 elements, you can make this for, you can keep this on mobile, but it's up to you. It's all about testing. Test on as many devices as you can. What we test on is browser stack, but that might be a little bit pricey for freelancers. So, just keep testing. And if it doesn't work on mobile, simplify it like Peter said. Okay. Great questions. Okay, I think last question by Bill, who asks, can you repeat or paste the URL of this demo? Sure. Again, it's scroll-transition-workshop.webflow.io. Right there. Oh, I forgot to put HTTP. But yeah, just copy and paste that. And there you go. And yeah. I think that's about it. Okay, from the YouTube chat room, Kevin's asking, wouldn't it be smoother if you use page scrolling and define start and end values so the animation is directly linked to your scrolling? I can try that. All right, let's try that real quick. Okay, so to answer Kevin's question, what we're going to do is I'm going to clone or duplicate this page, and we're just going to call it version 2. Okay, so this version 2, no interactions on it, but we can go here and page scroll. So when scrolled up, so when I'm scrolling up, I want the transition, oh, interesting. I want the transition out, okay, and then on scroll down, I want the transition that, so, okay. All right, let's see. Scrolling down. Scrolling up. Something like that, yeah. Wait. Hold on. Do I still have the... I still have the interaction here. That's why. Let me remove that. Let's delete that. There we go. Scroll down. Scroll up. There we go. Okay, so you have two versions in here. When you clone this project, you can play around with Kevin's suggestion, which is using the page trigger of scroll, or the element trigger that I showed you at the beginning of the stream. Okay. Oh, can you share your screen? Okay, there we go. So what I did was I duplicated the page. Sorry about that. Click Ryan. So I duplicated the page, and what I did was, let me just do it over. So I duplicated the page, and instead of an element trigger on section 2, I'm doing a page trigger, and I'm doing page scrolled, and for scrolling up, start an animation, and let me delete these real quick. Okay, so start an animation. When scrolling up, that means when I'm going up, I want that transition out. And when I'm scrolling down, I want that transition in. Okay, so preview it. Let's scroll down. And of course, it's not working, right? Okay, let's undo. I think it's because I deleted the... Yeah, okay, here we go. Let's try this. That one. And that one. There we go. Okay. So 2 versions for you guys to play with. Hope you have fun with it. And again, you can clone it on your own Webflow account for free. Even if you have a free account, you can take this and clone it and build something on it. Just want you guys to learn the power of Webflow and what you can do with it, okay? With that being said, let's end this stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me this week. Again, if you are new to this stream, these streams happen every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Usually these short streams, we just do some basic things, and our longer streams, we have them every other week. Where we talk with the community, see what the community's doing, and do some more advanced type of builds, okay? You can join the community at forum.webflow.com and introduce yourself there. There's a lot of designers and developers there who really want to help. And if you get your question answered there, please pay it forward and answer someone else's question so we can all grow together. All right? If you need any account billing or technical help, please go to university.webflow.com/contact, and I and the rest of the customer success team will help you out as fast as we can. Social media, twitter.com/webflow app, Instagram/webflow app, facebook.com/webflow. You can find me on Twitter at thepixelgeek, and that's about it for this week. So I'll see you on the forums, and I'll see you next week at the community live stream. And as always, make the web beautiful. See ya.